high school career GPA of 4.1196 ranks him number 2 in his class, as well as making him one of Truman's co-valedictorians. Over his 4 years at Truman, Ian has remained very active in social life, acting as the Class 09 treasurer, as well as the National Honor Society president. Ian was also a member of Shared Decision Making Team, Truman's Student Council, and the Class of 09 Homecoming Corps. He was also the varsity captain of the Truman Academic Quiz Bowl team. However, his presence is most often seen on stage, with Ian acting in over 10 Truman Drama Club productions, as well as working backstage as a director. Ian has been honored with the 3.3 GPA or higher pins, as well as nominations as Student of the Month. Ian was also voted Homecoming King this year. There he is. Oh boy, that'll go down in infamy. In Quiz Bowl, Ian has won the MVP title 2 years in a row and is currently ranked 2nd in an all-time points total for Truman. Ian has received a number of scholarships, including the Spartan Achievement Scholarship, the Abraham D. Olson Scholarship, the Wayne County Vision Fund Scholarship, and the Taylor Rotary Club Scholarship. This fall, Ian will be making his way to East Lansing, where he will attend Michigan State University. He plans to double major in communications and theater with a specialization in acting. Ian hopes to continue his acting career into the future and onto the professional stage, and possibly transition into film and television. Ian's guests here today include his parents, Brett and Leah Cooley, grandparents Fred Cox and Carol Cox, Aunt Dana Cox, Uncle Randall Cox, and grandparents Fred and Margaret Cooley. At this time, Ian's going to remain on stage and deliver his address.
Thank you for that, Dr. Turner. That's a moment I will never, ever forget. Before I got to high school, I had an image of what it was going to be like. There would be Saturday morning detentions. The head quarterback would take the awkward, artsy girl to prom on a bet, and gangs of senior jocks would chase and beat up kids. Like me. Then my freshman year came, and I realized how much Hollywood had lied to me. None of my friends' dads had a Ferrari I could borrow on a day of skipping school in the hallways. And despite all of my best efforts, no self-respecting pizza place would ever deliver a pizza directly to Mr. McLean's 4th block. Fast forward to a month ago, when I started to write this speech. At first I tried to think of something epic, earth-shattering to talk about. But my mind kept going back to those high school cliches. I wondered why, over the 4 years I've attended Truman, I never experienced anything like that. Was it a conspiracy from the movie studios? Or was it something about us? So I went back and I watched some of my favorite movies. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The more films I watched, the more I realized that while all these fictional kids had all this exciting drama in their lives, they were also stereotyped in other, not as appealing ways. I then understood that it was us who changed things, for the better. The most common stereotype I noticed was laziness. Teens are portrayed as bums, who will avoid work at all costs. Now, while it is true that some of us may not always do our assigned work, and it is true that the Blue Boat seems to have more passengers than ever, I look at what we've done in our 4 years and realize just how far off this depiction really is. Our class was involved, from raising money for a fantastic prom, to having some of the most memorable Spirit Week moments ever. Boys lip sync 4 years in a row. Not to mention some killer wall decorations over the years. And when you consider other things like the ACT prep program, which our class was the de facto guinea pigs for, you realize that one sin we aren't guilty of is sloth. Another high schooler cliche is that we're all intolerant. The thought that once we enter the school, we split into factions that fight and war with one another. The jocks versus the brains, the goths versus the preps, the geeks versus the cool kids. Yet you look at our school and you see something different. You see intermingling, people crossing over from group to group and feeling comfortable doing so. Now, I'm not suggesting that there aren't groups that naturally spring up, but rather that these groups don't feel the need to fight and war with one another. Just look at the people sitting around you right now. Different kinds of people, different kinds of personalities, same kind of acceptance towards each other. We have bypassed being simply categorized into those stereotypical groups. The only group that we fall under easily is the graduating class of 2009, which, if you ask me, is a pretty impressive crew. Now, this ties into a related depiction of high schoolers. That we have no ability to unite, no ability to work together as a group for the sake of the common good. I see that in the movies, and I can't help but shake my head and wonder where the writers went to school. Because when I look at the things that our class has gone through in the past 4 years together, I can't believe how well we made it out. We've had devastating lows mix in with dizzying heights. There were events that some of us didn't think we'd ever be able to cope with. And yet, we would come together as a family and support one another and help each other through the difficulties. You know, some people say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know, that's one cliche that happens to apply to us because our class is made of some pretty impressive stuff. Which brings me to today. I am here to commend you, to congratulate us, not only for finally getting out of here, but also for breaking the negative cliches of high school and embracing new ones that make us something better. We've created a new set of cliches that define us, an image of strong individuals with a community spirit and a general desire to help one another. Maybe one day, Hollywood will wise up and make a movie about us. Thank you.